back in the Folk Arts Center, right off of the Blue Ridge Parkway, where we finished up what we're calling segment 3A. So I think I said it in the previous video, but because I had some life stuff happen in the real world, we had to cut that trip short, and so we only got about half of segment 3 done. So we're back out in a beautiful, sunny, blue skies Sunday afternoon in the middle of March, and we're gonna finish it up. Yeah, so it was sunny and 80 degrees a week ago, and now it's hovering around freezing, so 32 degrees and rain, so perfect hiking weather. But yeah, the big camera's still packed up for now because the rain's still not quite done, but it should be letting up a little later. But Joe was kind enough to put on his rain pants, so that means it's going to stop raining. Problem solved. See you out there. Good times. Got it on camera, folks. He didn't look both ways before he crossed. Living on the edge.
You need to take it off, sir.
Nope. As we reached camp for the night, the weather chose to remind us who was in charge. The wind picked up, the temperature plummeted, and precipitation began to roll in overnight. I didn't realize it yet, but I was about to be humbled and begin to question the decision to even step off on this trip. Well, I think I could speak for Joe, but this is probably one of the most uncomfortable mornings outdoors I have had, maybe ever. It's pretty cold. The wind picked up about 9:30, 10 o'clock last night and has not quit, and it has been unrelenting cold, and we've got ice everywhere. Straps are frozen, lines are frozen, buckles are frozen. My spreader bars were frozen. My lips are frozen. I can't even talk. Still good times. Well, I was going to say it was solid type 2 fun, but Joe, I think this is type 3 fun for him. And I think I'm pretty close as well. The wind is just unforgiving. You can't, your hands are so cold you can't do anything with them, so you can't physically pack up. Still good time. Good time, good time. back on trail. It's been a long, slow 1.8 miles this morning, and
that's it.
but I think we've come up just a hair under 1,000 feet in that 1.8 miles, so there's that. Other good news, I can feel my fingers again. I went through that real painful transition where you go from numb to feeling again, and it's like your fingers just ache. So that was fun. But we're at the Lone Pinnacle, which I think is like 5194 for elevation. So Joe is saying this part of segment 3 gives segment 2 a run for its money. I tend to agree. Still good times.
All right, let's see you do it.
Good time.
Good time.
It's only appropriate to document the suffering. Joe has been very patient with me, but I have been suffering just a little bit. We're at the CCC shelter near Craggy Gardens, and it has been a whole bunch of climbing. And it is a balmy 30 degrees with nice, lovely wind chill, so the conditions are not necessarily in our favor, but we did kind of sign up for this, so that's what I'm reminding myself of. But got a few miles to maybe a water stop, maybe a lunch stop, and go from there. Good times. I'm gonna take the fall on this one.
Yeah, you are.
So we'll back up. So last night might have been one of my worst nights outdoors. Even with the tarp, we had some crazy winds that somehow managed to blow moisture up underneath, and so a lot of our stuff got wet. I was up, I want to say what, 6:30 maybe, trying to break down camp. Everything was frozen, lines were frozen, and then my hands would go numb, and I couldn't do anything. I had to warm back up. So long story short, we left out of camp an hour and a half later than we had intended. Today we were supposed to do 16 miles to put us just south of Mount Mitchell, and that just ain't working for us. It's not working for me. So, calling it. But as fate would have it, we're gonna have to self-rescue because we're out here by ourselves. Parkway's closed. There's no way for any type of non-emergency shuttle, so we're still gonna walk out. It's not the way we planned. So we're gonna hike the Parkway, because that's just faster hiking, and camp, and then hike back to the car tomorrow. Good times.
That night after reaching camp, I stopped filming. I started feeling the effects of hypothermia. I was nauseous when I tried to eat, and my brain was in a fog. All I could think about was the cold. Fortunately, our gear held up overnight and kept us from freezing. But the frigid mountain morning would present a new set of problems for us to overcome before the hike down to the car.
Well, good morning. It is a beautiful morning. We had a beautiful sunrise, but it might have been my coldest night outdoors. I think it got down to 16. I already broke down my sleep setup. Joe still got his, but he's ahead of me in the breakfast department. But our unique problem is that water is completely frozen. So I got dirty water yesterday and carried it here because we didn't know what our water was going to be like. And this is a solid block of ice. So don't really know what to do with that. I've got a little bit of water from the bottle that I slept with that's not frozen, so I'm going to try to warm that up, use it to thaw some of the other blocks of ice, maybe get some water. All right, packed up, and we're reaching new levels of cold that I have not experienced yet in my life. I just want to warm up. 7.5 miles to the car. Let's do it. Good times. We made it, sorta. Not the trip we planned, but it's certainly an adventure, and probably some of my first exposure to at least voluntary exposure to Type 3 fun. Definitely an adventure, but definitely something I won't do twice. So we're rounding the corner to the Black Mountain Campground parking lot, where it's the end of segment 3, beginning of segment 4, but at least we get to come back here one more time. We'll drop cars here and finish up segment 3 at some point in the future. We'll see you on the next one. Good times.